So, hey guys, you just heard a part of the Wonder Woman theme song from the Linda Carter TV show from back in the day. Wonder Woman is also based off the famous DC comic character of the same name, and obviously, by that statement alone, it's quite obvious that I'm going to be reviewing the Wonder Woman film for you today. So, in this movie, you guys, it's directed by Patty Jenkins, who worked on the film Monster. She's worked on some television stuff too, like she's directed episodes of Arrested Development and Entourage. She's a very established director. She, I believe, is an employee of the AFI in some way, shape, or form. She's just a very talented lady that I'm very glad that Warner Brothers and DC gave her a chance to direct this Wonder Woman movie because she really is the right talent for the job. So, in the Wonder Woman movie, you guys, it's about Diana Prince who lives on this Amazon island called Paradise Island. And it's a place where all these Amazon warrior women train from a very young age to become these warriors to fight battles, to be able to defend themselves, to be able to ride a horse correctly in battle. So this island's all about battles and making sure that these women grow up strong and to be able to take on battles the right way if their island were ever to be in danger. And strangely enough, the island is later in danger when a character named Steve Trevor washes up on shore, which also attracts some World War One soldiers to the island that the Amazon women have to fight off. Thankfully, Steve is not a part of this team. He just so happened to kind of be the bait for these people to go to this island and basically fight these Amazon women. So once Diana Prince hears about the war outside of Paradise Island, World War One in this case, she really wants to be able to resolve this. She's trying to understand why people would be at war with each other. How come they're not at peace with each other like the Amazon women are on the island? They just want to train to become the best possible warrior. How come life outside the island isn't like this as well? So Wonder Woman, or Diana Prince in this case, manages to leave the island with Steve Trevor after Steve basically is very hard to trust after hearing about what exactly happened to the island getting attacked and everything, and him kind of being a part of this war and so forth. But through some convincing and through some talking with her mother, Diana Prince is able to join Steve Trevor back into the war, back in the real world, where Wonder Woman is now a part of the war herself. She's a part of the British spies and the British army for the war, and she's trying to figure out where her half-brother Ares is all this time, since he kind of been vanished from Paradise Island and was trying to kill off a bunch of Amazon women, and it's believed that he's out in the real world somewhere. So not only is Wonder Woman, or Diana, I keep calling her Wonder Woman, but she's really just Diana Prince, is out in this world trying to resolve why people are at war with each other and trying to create peace, while also trying to find her half-brother Ares to see if she can take him out for good. So overall, guys, I love the Wonder Woman movie. This is such a great movie. It's great to see a DC comic film do so well again. I personally liked Man of Steel, and I even kind of liked Suicide Squad a little bit. Batman vs. Superman for me was the film that DC really did not do well with at all. But I'm glad to say and proud to say that Wonder Woman is not a bad movie. It is a very, very good movie. It's definitely a film that DC needs right now. It's just such a great way to introduce a really strong, interesting female superhero character into this DC universe. And it's so great to see a hero story handled so well. And once again, it's just so great to see Patty Jenkins take on a really good, big film again after Monster happened so many years ago. And it's just great to see her back in the film business doing really good films again. So for my positives and negatives of Wonder Woman, it really is an excellent hero story. That's probably my big positive with this movie is it's a great hero story. It's just such a great story. It's such an interesting character to follow. It's so great to see a character that just really wants to make sure everybody is okay and that the world is not full of evil and not full of bad things. It just really is a great story of somebody who just really wants to make the world a better place and to make sure everybody's at peace with each other, and is just trying to make sure that everybody's happy, that everybody doesn't have to worry about starving or having an enemy or having a war going on out in the world. It's just so great to see a hero story play out so incredibly well as the way that this Wonder Woman film played out as. And once again, going back to the Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman, it's just so great to see a really fun and great female superhero character that's in the DC universe and is just around in general. You know, who cares about the whole Marvel versus DC thing? The fact is, we have a really good female superhero here, and I really hope that, let's say Justice League doesn't work out too well, that I really hope we get more of these Wonder Woman movies. I hope that Patty Jenkins returns for at least two more of these. I would love to see a Wonder Woman 2 and a Wonder Woman 3, and hopefully she'll direct those as well. It's just such a great superhero character. I just love following this character. She has such an innocent sense of humor when she's the fish out of water out in reality and has questions about everything. It's just such an interesting character, and she has such a great goal in life to make sure that everybody's happy and at peace with each other. I just absolutely love this character, and Gal Gadot really just owned this role and played this role extremely well. And that'll lead into my next positive. Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, whenever the two of them are on screen together, they are very strong characters, very interesting characters too. They play off of each other really well. Their sense of humor is very strong with each other. I just love to see the two of them on the screen together. This is also a very optimistic film. It's just so great to see a DC film that's optimistic and bright and colorful and trying to encourage you to believe in this hero character, and it's not gloom and doom like the Batman vs. Superman movie. It's just a very optimistic film that we really haven't seen in a DC film probably since the Christopher Reeve Superman movies back when the first and second one of those came out by Richard Donner. And once again, the characters are just very fun here, and it's not just Chris Pine and Gal Gadot who play fun characters in this movie. The small army they assemble in Britain is a very fun team of characters. The secretary of Steve Trevor is a very fun character. Even the villains, they're very compelling, scary villains that are that we want to see Wonder Woman take down throughout the course of this movie. They're just very fun characters that they established and written in this movie, and it's a very fun film to watch as a result. This is also a great looking production. Patty Jenkins really found incredible locations to film at for the Paradise Island, for the World War I locations. Just a great looking production. The costumes look wonderful. You really feel like you're in World War I when those scenes happen, or you're at Paradise Island. It's just really incredible to see how her establishment with CGI in this movie and her establishment with practical, real sets, how they blend together and become one and feel like a place that you can live and breathe in and walk around in. Just a great looking production that Patty Jenkins has established here. And going back to Patty Jenkins, she also has an amazing sense of action. She knows how to film action scenes very well. Gal Gadot was very good with her action choreography in this movie, very believable. Patty Jenkins just has a very incredible sense of action. She lets you see everything happening. She doesn't use shaky cam. She lets you follow the characters. She lets you see the characters in a widescreen angle. Just a really incredible sense of action that I really felt invested in. This is also not just a great superhero film. This is a great World War I movie. It really does show the casualties of war and kind of how scary World War I is, and how people were starving and people got hurt, and there's places you really couldn't go in by yourself, and that, even going down a street alley, if you were really not a person who could hold your own fights, that was a very dangerous thing to do at that time. So it's just a great World War I film, and I'm glad that they were able to tell such a tragic event in history and put it in such an optimistic film, so the film can still have that sense of optimism, because this Wonder Woman character is just so incredible to watch in this movie. And once again, Patty Jenkins as the director really nailed it in this movie. She really was the perfect directing choice for this movie. She really understood the Wonder Woman character, made her strong, made her believable, made her a character you could follow and trust. She really made an incredible film here and did an incredible job as a director. I also like the film's messages on avoiding violence when needed, how you can resolve something by just kind of convincing somebody of something, that, if you really believe that, peace and showing that You really aren't out to hurt somebody. You're just kind of there to make a point. You're there to protect something. You're there to value something, to just go about it the way you would go about it. And, violence isn't always the answer to everything, that it really is just being able to convince somebody of a situation or of an opinion. I really like just how the messages were handled in this movie. For my negatives of Wonder Woman, because unfortunately it's not a perfect film, but like I said, by all those positives, I have a lot of great things to say about it. But some of my negatives of this movie is occasionally there's some slow mo action shots that just really feel cheapened and unnecessary, because Patty Jenkins does a great job with action scenes. Doing that slow mo, supposedly cool way of doing an action shot for an action scene really didn't feel necessary when they tried to do one. I was just so invested in the way she was filming action scenes that doing that additional post production slow mo shots kind of weared the film down a little bit. My other negative with this movie is occasionally Diana Prince. She'll have like her Wonder Woman armor on underneath her outfit, or she'll have a dress on for a party, and you have no idea when and where she got that dress to go to that party to. And there's just these instant costume changes that kind of come out of nowhere, and you kind of wonder where exactly she got some of those outfits. Would have been nice to see some explanation as to how she got some of these things at the right time. It just felt a little lazy in the writing department when it came to just those moments in the movie. And also, I thought the third act of this film had a little bit too much CGI. It really needed some CGI for what they were going for in this third act. But for me personally, because there were so many practical things done in this movie, it's kind of too bad that the third act kind of went back to the whole relying on CGI feel. But like I said, it's a very strong movie. It's just kind of unfortunately that the third act got a little CGI heavy. But overall, Wonder Woman is a fantastic film. I just have so many positive things to say about it. 9 out of 10 for me. Really see this movie. If you love superhero films, if you're interested in hearing about the Wonder Woman character, if you just are in for a movie about a strong female character, Wonder Woman is definitely all those things combined. Like I said, some of those slow-mo action shots, some of the instant costume changes that came out of nowhere, and some of the CGI heavy moments in the third act wear the film down just by a little bit. But I would say 9 out of 10 is a very appropriate rating for this movie. It's just so strong and so fun. Patty Jenkins, once again, amazing director and amazing choice for this movie. Be sure to see Wonder Woman. It's a 9 out of 10 from me.